up, everybody? Well, I had a little request here for this particular game, Final Fantasy Rebirth. Someone wanted me to test FPS in the same spot so it's easier to compare all the different things. So I figured I would start on the weakest system. Hell, I even tried that FIREBAT again. I had one last idea to try to get it to work. I almost can guarantee it's not gonna, but we'll try it anyway, and we'll just keep moving along after that. And I'm just gonna do the stuff that actually runs halfway decently. I'm not gonna sit here and try a bunch of different settings. So on this one, we're just gonna leave it on like 720p with that dynamic resolution down to 50% or whatever, and the game on low, basically. But in any case, let's go ahead and hop into the game, and we're just gonna incorporate all the different computers into one video as well. So let's get started, shall we? Well, all right. Here's the settings we're going to do. If I remember correctly, these are the exact same ones I ended up doing at the very end of the Steam Deck video, because they worked the best, so figure why not? Change that to that, though. That might make it a little smoother, I don't know for sure, but we shall see. And with that, let's get into the game. Alright, well, here we are. Sorry if the color's a little off. It's doing that shit where it won't let me turn HDR off, so... Luckily, during the camera recorded portion, it'll at least look nice. But for now, it's going to look kind of dim, and it's always going to look pretty bad, all blown up like this, and very blurry. But even on the handheld itself, it's kind of blurry, and not the best, but still playable. It's just going to drop under 30 here and there, and do some goofy stuff. But for the most part, very playable FPS. Gotta remember how I countered him before. I swear there was a thing I did where I just like blocked him at the right time and like knocked him down. If I can remember how to do that over and over again, he won't be a problem. Anyway, though, why don't we take this opportunity to move right along to the Ally. Alright, we're pretty much just going to copy the Steam Deck settings, although if you're going to use dynamic resolution scaling, you could probably kick a couple of these up to medium and maybe even a couple on high, if all you want is like 30-40 FPS. Pump these back up to 5 like we had on the Steam Deck as well, and there we are. Let's go get into the game and let's see how this thing does. Well, alright, here we go. We'll run around in the same area here. It definitely has its fair share of little stutters, that's for sure. But it's getting a lot more FPS than the Steam Deck was, for sure. Alright, pick these up. Now, where the heck? There they are. I figured they were around here someplace. There we go. I think you just have to block at the right time. But game definitely runs better than the remake did, that's for sure. Pretty sure I tested it out on this and it stuttered like crazy, just like on everything else. Funny enough, even though it still stutters, if I remember correctly in my testing, when I first tested it, the remake actually ran smoothest on the Steam Deck. It didn't get lots of FPS, but the stutters weren't as prevalent. But I think that changed as time went on and updates happened. But they never really did get rid of all the stutters. And I don't think even the, what do you call it, like the modders and stuff did. They did better than Square Enix did, but still. Alright, let's go pick these two things up real quick. And I think we can go ahead and go move on to the next system now. Well, alright. I figured this time around, just for fun, we'd do 1080p, 1440, and 4K on this thing, since, let's be honest, it's not really a 4K GPU. But there we go. Let's now get into the game and let's see how it does at 1080p. Alright, here we go. It does seem to have a couple more stutters than on anything else at 1080p. And this is why I don't generally like playing games like this at 1080p. I've just noticed on almost everything they have more stutters. It's great for like high refresh rate, like competitive gaming and stuff, but for stuff like this, it tends to stutter more. And we do the same screen recording later and whatnot, and as you will see, we do not have as big stutters anymore. And I'm quitting out of the game and going back in and stuff, so it shouldn't just be staying in the RAM and, you know, being as smooth and smoother that way, I wouldn't think. Not like it's unplayable or anything. But it's almost stuttered as much as the G15 Advantage was, but as you can see now, it's calmed down. The G15 Advantage I don't think ever was quite this smooth. At least not during screen recording anyway. I think it got decently smooth here and there, while we were not screen recording. Oh shit, I got 8. Oh, that's right, at this point I hadn't figured out how to like counter him yet. Oh, damn it. I hate when I waste my attacks like that, but that's my own fault for not like locking onto him and shit. And now I died. Oh well. I get to use red. I am the superior dog, cat, wolf thing. I've always thought of him more of a cat, but who knows? Because he does like howl and whatnot, so who knows? I mean, it's freaking not a real freaking thing anyway, so I guess trying to figure out what he is doesn't really matter anyway. I'm just crazy, and I like trying to figure that shit out in these games. Anyway, though, even at 1080p, the game looks pretty decent. A little softer, obviously, than it does at 1440 and 4K. But I still say it looks a little crisper than, like, half the other things, since I can't use DLSS on them. That really makes them look better. At least to my eyes, but maybe I'm just placeboing out or something. But anyway, let's move on to 1440. Alright, now for 1440p. I kept the dynamic resolution scaling off for this. I only turned it on when we got to 4K, because you kind of need it. And I mean, unless you want to turn the settings way down. But in any case, let's go ahead and get into the game. Alright, now, here we go with a little 1440. Now, it still has some little frame time skips here and there.
Looks like, but definitely an older model.
But I would say it's much smoother than 1080 was, but you guys can be the judge of that.
And harder still to find land anywhere that it hasn't been a battlefield at some point.
And besides, a lot of people say I'm a little too anal with my frame times and FPS requirements. And they'll be like, dude, it's fine the way it was before. What do you mean it's stuttering and lagging? But I mean, when you have a frame time graph, it's kind of hard to hide it. That's the one thing I wish that frame or FPS monitoring software had. That thing you gotta go with by color. Green, milliseconds, good. Orange, not the best, but still okay. And then red, bad, not good. That means stutter. Although who knows, maybe there's some hidden somewhere, but I didn't see the frigging frame time graph anywhere in it. It's one thing I miss about using this, but a lot of the times this can add stutters in and of itself, but I figured, screw it, we'll leave it on this time around. Woo! Yep. Like I said earlier, I gotta be careful with that. take too big a hit of that, and you're gonna be taking yourself a trip to Cough Town. And I don't know about you guys, but if anybody who happens to partake of the marijuana, I don't really like coughing my ass off. But anyway, alright, now we're gonna finish off by doing, well, desktop resolution of 4K, but then I let it go down to 66% if it needs to. But now, let's get into the game, and let's see how it does. Alright, here we are in the game. And I'd actually say this is probably smoothest yet.
Looks like. But
And obviously you'll get a little bit more FPS if we weren't screen recording, but I'd still say it's more than playable like this.
And harder still to find land
But like I always say, this is not a 4K GPU, and that's why usually, at these newer games anyway, at 4K, I almost always have to rely on DLSS. Or in this case, dynamic resolution scaling with DLSS's help. Aha. You're all pressured now. Why don't you use a potion real quick while he's up there?
going in. Just like that, okay?
Alright, let's just keep running around just for a little bit here. And then we shall move on to the next system. But yeah, pretty damn smooth with these settings. I don't know about you guys, but I'd say this still looks like the best out of all of them. Wonder what resolution it's staying at. I know it's not staying at 4K, but it doesn't seem to be going quite as low as 1440. But I don't know. Maybe it's going as low as 1080 and I just don't know it and it's just doing a good job. But anyway, let us move on to the next system. Alright. We're going to do 1080p first. And then we'll go from there. Now, it's not really 1080p because it can go and use dynamic resolution scale, but that's how I'm going to label it. Alright, so it's still kind of a stuttery mess while we're recording, but it seems to smooth out a little bit once we stop. But still, since we have to use upscaling and all that stuff, it does look soft and all that stuff. Plus, at least in my testing, the only anti-aliasing and upscaling and all that stuff that does good is DLSS and DLA. But that's just because there is no FSR or XESSE or whatever the Intel one's called. That doesn't exist stock. Now, there is a mod already out where you can get those. And frame gen. Now, if anybody wants to see that, I could always try to go and install that stuff, but that stuff almost never ends up working well for me. But I'll still give it a shot. I was just going to play it on one of the systems that where it ran halfway decently, but still, if I can make it run even better on those, why not, right? But it's not like it's completely unplayable or anything, but definitely takes a little bit of the fun out of it to have it stutter like this. But like I said, it doesn't stutter quite as bad when you're not recording. This game is definitely a little bit of a VRAM hog. As you can see, we're at 6.8 gigs of VRAM, and that's at 1080p. I'm curious what we'll be at 1440. Alright though, let's go ahead and move on to 1440. Ah, great, OBS sucks yet again. It showed everything working good, so I figured it was good, but didn't check it, and that's my fault. But I feel like no matter what, it would be those situations where no matter how many times I re-record it, it would just do this over and over again. Because OBS can be a bit of a pill. Well, alright. Sorry the recording's all messed up again. OBS decided to suck. But at least the important part, the FPS monitor part, is up in the corner. And that's what we need the most of. So it'll just look a little funky. Again, sorry about that, but it's one of those situations where no matter how many times I re-record it, OBS says, yeah, everything's good, everything's fine. Then you look at your recording and it looks like dog shit. So it's one of those times where I wish I just started using the recording PC for every system, no matter what. But I'd have to go and figure out how many long cords I need, and I wouldn't even be able to do that with the Asus and stuff like that, not unless I moved it somewhere else. But that could still be a possibility. Because I'm getting about tired of OBS failing with just normal recording and stuff. And it's not like Relive and Shadow Play is flawless either, but they still screw up a whole lot less than OBS does with stuff like this. Alright, so far we're up to 7.8 gigs of VRAM at 1440 here. Although it's constantly using dynamic, so it's going to go up and down. But again, very playable. It will drop under 60 here and there, but for the most part, you're going to have a 60 plus experience like this. But there's going to be some points where it drops under. How far under? That's completely unknown. But I've seen it drop as low as like 47 for like a split second here and there in certain spots of the game when I was testing this. But out here, it seems to do all right. I think the lowest I've seen it drop was like 55 or 54 or something like that for a split second. But for the most part, it's 60, 70. And that's what we're recording. It'll do a lot better when we're not recording. Hell, might even stay at 60 plus. We'll see. And at least that can't screw up and be only half screen. Well, I mean, unless I point the camera wrong, but then that's my fault. It's like, it's got a viewfinder. If you can't aim the camera with a viewfinder and like all the stuff it has to help you aim, it's like, I don't know what you're doing, you know? Anyway, let's move on to the next system, shall we? All right, here's the settings we're going to use. And it looks like it's at least going to record it properly, but we'll see when we get into the actual game. It's said that before, and I thought everything's going to be good before, and I didn't check these either, and the G15 Advantage ended up having a bunch of messed up recordings, so well, let's hop into the game and let's see about this one. Well, all right, here we go. Sorry, it's all dim. I should have shut off HDR, but I completely forgot.
But definitely an older model.
Steam Deck wouldn't let me, but this one, you can just turn it off in Windows, and in 99% of the time, it'll, you know, be fine. Then knowing me, in my stoned ass, I'd forget to frickin' turn it back on when I got to the camera recorded portion, so I'm kind of glad it's like this. I'd rather it be a little dim and then it look really amazing during the camera portion. And even this thing does have a stutter or two while recording, but it seems to smooth out a lot once we stop recording. Anyway, let's go get into a quick fight. Snowball Fruit Punch. Damn, that stuff's good. It's like frosted with extra, like, what do they call that stuff? Trichomes or whatever. So it looks like powdered sugar all over it. And it tastes just like Fruity Pebbles. And it's like 58% THC. It's freaking nuts. Man, oh man, does that shit get stuck to your throat and everything, so man. And I gotta be careful with this stuff. This is the stuff I can tell if I take too big of a hit, it will make me cough my ass off. It's what I like to call spicy, but in a good way. Well, alright, here we go with 1440p. And I think, I don't want to get too excited, but I think it recorded it properly-ish. But let's hop into the game and make sure before we get too excited. All right. Unfortunately, no. It also lied to me just like it did on the not Steam Deck, on the Asus G15 Advantage.
From back when they were duking it out
But
with the Republic.
at least we can see the FPS, and that's all that really matters. Now, of course, we'll get more FPS when we're not recording, but seems to still do a pretty damn good job. But I think even this thing drops almost under 60 in some spots. While we're recording anyway. Yeah, like that, down to 59. Not the end of the world or anything, but just taking note of it. The game is definitely hard to run when it's all maxed out, but definitely looks good. Although I've definitely noticed it looks a little soft unless you're using an NVIDIA GPU. They should really like fix it so you can use like FSR and XEXE to upscale. I know they're also not perfect. DLS is going to look better than all of them, but I think those could look better than the stock TAAU. Although I will take that over the TAA. Because TAA looks absolutely terrible. This just looks not great compared to DLSS, but compared to just TAA, which is the only other option if you don't have an NVIDIA GPU, yeah, definitely better. That's why I left it that way. Anyway, though, we can now go ahead and move on to the next system. All right, here's the settings we're gonna run. Now it says 4K, but it's really just 1440p ultra-wide. It basically just takes your desktop resolution, and that's why that's grayed out. But in any case, let us now get into the game and let's see how it does. All right, here we are in the game. Unfortunately, stock, it will have black bars, but you can go and download some mods and whatnot that will make this ultra wide and all that stuff, so that's always nice. But I usually just run stuff stock unless somebody asks me to do those mods, but me and mods generally don't get along, but I can usually get them installed. It just usually takes me more than just, hey, drag and drop this stuff. I go do that and then the game will like not run anymore. And I'll be like, what the fuck? I followed it to a T. And I've even explained, I've had my friends go and come over here and follow the instructions just like I did, and then it won't work for them either. I'm like, see, I told you. Half the time they're just like, oh my god, you're just going too fast and not reading and paying attention. It's like, no, I learned a long time ago with computer stuff, you gotta fucking follow the directions. 9 times out of 10, if you don't, it is not gonna go your way, and then you're gonna get pissed off. Or discouraged, one of the two. People handle that kind of stuff differently. Some people get irritated and pissed off, and want to break shit. Some people just get discouraged, like, I don't even want to do this anymore. And then people like me are just like, you know what? Screw that. I'm going to keep trying over and over again until I absolutely can't. But I'm a little bit of a weirdo, so that's okay. But yeah, runs pretty good. Has like a little stutter every now and again. But especially while not recording, it seems to be pretty damn smooth, more than having stutters. Especially compared to Remake. But in any case, why don't we go ahead and move on to the next system. Alright, here we go with the settings we're gonna run. Basically 4K. Game maxed out. The system handles it pretty damn good too. It has like a tiny little stutter every now and again, but just like on the secondary computer, it's pretty much buttery smooth more than it stutters. Alright, here we are in the game. And at least this one recorded properly.
Looks like, but definitely an older model.
With HDR, it seems, and all. Some of the other systems made it all dim. Yeah, unless HDR turned itself off, but this sure doesn't look like it. Well, I should be able to tell when we get to the can't recorded portion. I just really hope the dang TV PC actually has sound this time. Sometimes certain games, it just acts like an ass and is like, I don't feel like recording sound. And half the time when I do these, I used to wear headphones, but a lot of the times now, I don't really like to do that. It's not that they're uncomfortable. I just like to be alert. Just in case, Misty gets into trouble, someone shows up. Just in case, maybe. I doubt it would happen, but just in case somebody does some nefarious stuff, breaks in, I'd like to be able to hear stuff and not just be like, oh, I'm off in my own little world. Oh, wait, who's that? Oh, I'm dead. That wouldn't be very fun. But like I said, that likelihood of that happening is I'd probably be more likely to get struck by lightning. Anyway, though, on to the next system. Well, I don't hear any music, so I'm willing to bet that the damn thing didn't record sound again. I guess we'll see once we get into the game itself. It's not like it matters that much in this screen, but it's a little annoying when it doesn't do it in the actual game. So if that's the case, I'll just try to talk to be entertaining. Well, that's a no-go on the sound. But sometimes even Shadowplay can mess up. It's not always just OBS. Relive can too. Well, the truth be told, I'd honestly say, if I had a scoreboard, I'd say Relive probably has done the least lame things to me. But even it sometimes will not record something or do it in the wrong resolution or so on and so forth. But so far, OBS, when I'm not using a capture card, has been the most terrible for me, by far. It loves to tell me, hey, everything is good, everything's fine, your thing is going to look great, man. And then I go and look at it when I go to do these voiceovers, and it's all like, hey, you can't see anything. Everything's fucked. Haha, sucks to be you. And it's like, well, damn it. But I know it's the kind of thing where I've gone back and tried, and it does that to me over and over again, where it just will not let me get good shit. So that's where I'm like, all right, well, luckily we've got a camera. We'll just have to rely on that for this one. All right, Toxic Rat defeated. One last little hit. Alright, now for a little camera recorded gameplay. For like 2 minutes of gameplay on each thing here. Let's try to kill these. I might get killed by them, but let's see. Got me in the back. Alright, need more potion. Alright, we got him staggered. Now we can go ahead and do might as well do one more. One more on cloud, why not? Well, that was lame. He pushed me further back. I think I would have actually hit him. That was staggered. No, we don't gotta do that. Everybody's fine enough. But yeah. Definitely playable most of the time. But unfortunately it does not look very impressive. Still impressive that it actually runs at all. But definitely is not the most cleanly thing ever. It kind of looks like, as I play, it's like, man, it looks like I need glasses. I imagine this is how people that need glasses see the world, just kind of blurry like this. And then yeah, unless it auto saves or something, I intend to just not save and just start from the same spot and just kind of do the same thing I just did here on every single system. That way it should be as close to possible, as apples to apples as I can do. Unless, of course, it auto saves and whatnot. Then I'm kind of SOL, and I'll just have to do my own thing, but we'll see what happens. Still definitely has its fair share of little skips. But that seems to happen on the weaker systems. But there's still a little tiny stutter here and there, even on the high-end systems, it seems. Just the way the game is for now, but hopefully they'll fix it. They didn't really fix the original remake much. I think the modders had to fix most of it, and even that didn't completely fix it 100%. But, alright, I think that's plenty of gameplay, so let's move on to the next system. Alright. Now to do a little camera gameplay. Just got one. No, I guess not. No holding back. Let's go with. Alright, no, I think that was better on these until they get pushed. Could be wrong. Let's go with braver this time. Brace yourself. Let's do this. Well, he's finished. But yeah, same as the Steam Deck though, since it's the same settings, it's, you know, gets a little more FPS, but still very blurry. So if you can get past that, definitely playable. Just definitely does not look excellent. Still though, fun that you can play this game in the palm of your hand like this on the Steam Deck or this. This just does a little bit better, but it doesn't have a nice OLED HDR screen, but gets much better performance, so I would probably rather play this game on the Ally X, but that's just me. Anyway though, let's move on to the next system. Well, alright, let's see if my last idea works for this. Because I started thinking about it and I was like, wait, why would the thing tell you to put the little dash things in DX12 here? That generally, nope, that's not what I want. Definitely not what I want. Then I'd have to go do that. I want properties. That's what I want. So I figured let's try adding negative DX11. That should force it to DX11 mode if there is one. And then if this doesn't work, I think I was probably right the first time, where you just can't play on this thing, unfortunately. So let's see what happens. Nope. Now we got fatal error. So I think, unfortunately, you're just SOL, but let's be honest, it probably wouldn't have ran very good anyway. So, on to the next system. Alright, here's 1080p. Alright, where were those elephants? Avalumps and oozles. Alright, there we go. There they are. Now I gotta try not to die. Oh, I thought for sure it was gonna get me. Alright. Nah, we don't want to use fire. Let's use triple slash. Nobody else has it. Oh, never mind. Stagger. Heck yeah. Screw you, world. Not this time.
You're mine.
See you around.
Alright, and with that, let's move on to 1440. Alright, now for some 1440p action. Oh, the other one got me. You bastard! Anybody else do anything yet? No, just me. Oh.
Come on. Let's finish this. You're done. Brace yourself.
Alright. And with that, let's go move on to 4K. Well, not really 4K, but you'll see what I mean when we look at the settings. Alright, let's get some camera recorded gameplay now.
I'm in a rush, so get 'em.
Whatever.
Nobody else has any. Okay. All right, cool. Oh, I didn't have time to block. Haha, I did that time though.
Only the strong survive.
Alright, and with that, let's move on to the next system. Alright, now for some camera recorded gameplay here at 1080p. Well, not really 1080p, but we'll just say let's get some gameplay here with the camera. That would be the rule, we'll say. Because who knows what it is whenever it is. It is what it wants to be. Nobody else can do anything yet.
That it?
Let's finish this. Brace yourself. No time to celebrate.
Alright. Still playable, but it's got its fair share of stutters on this thing. Though a lot of people were complaining about performance on AMD systems, which is funny considering the consoles use that, but it is what it is. I can't do anything about it, but get you guys your footage.
Looks like. But definitely an older model.
From back when they were duking it out with the Republic.
Hard to imagine this was once a battlefield.
And harder still to find land anywhere that it hasn't been a battlefield at some point.
Alright though, let us move on to the next resolution. Now for some 1440p camera recorded gameplay. If I can speak properly, sheesh!
Hang on then.
Alright, though, let us move on to the next system. Alright, let's get some camera recorded gameplay for 1080p here. I would get, you know, the actual screen and laptop, but it's doing that lame shit where no matter what, it doesn't want to use the GPU that it's supposed to be using. So, it is what it is. We had to come over here, but at least we've got that as an option. Oh, messed up that time. Back here.
So bad?
Well, alright, let's move on to 1440p then, shall we? Alright, now for some 1440p camera recorded gameplay. like there's probably gonna be some spots that'll drop under 60, but like here. But for the most part, I think you're gonna be 60 plus, or at least a very playable FPS. And if you want to get a constant 60, you gotta turn that dynamic resolution scaling or tone some settings down. But in any case, why don't we go ahead and move on to the next system? All right. Now for some camera recorded gameplay. Alright though, why don't we go ahead and move on to the next system now. Now for some camera recorded gameplay here, 4K. Has any, well fine. I'll do it then. Whatever.
See you around.
Ooh, you guys are here this time. Heck yeah. Come on, attack. All right, let's go move on to the last system. All right, now for some camera recorded gameplay.
Sure you want to fight me?
Ready? Never in doubt.
Seems to perform very similar to the main PC. Oh, I didn't block in time. Damn it all. Finally. Get freaking wrecked. Okay. Finish them off. Yeah, might be a drop frame every now and again, but for the most part, it seems pretty damn smooth. At least in this area. Alright, since this is the last one we're doing, screw it. Let's go attack these things too and then call it quits. Let's see, what am I at? Let's heal first, so I don't insta-die. Damn you. There we go. Oh my gosh, she can't run yet. Wait. Oh, I wanted to summon real quick. Oh well. Not a big deal. But that is a wrap for that. So let's go wrap this video on up. Well, alright guys, that's a wrap for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. As requested, all the systems in one area, so it's easy to compare. Tried to even do basically the same thing in every single one, but slightly altered it in every single one, but at least stayed in the same area. So hopefully that's good enough, and hopefully the game gets a couple updates and, you know, they just work out this few bugs that there are. There's not really that many. It seems to be much better than Remake. Remake would have been stuttering like no tomorrow the whole time we were out in that field non-stop. We wouldn't have had a minute's peace. But even on the Steam Deck, most of the time it's smooth. A little tiny stutter every now and again, but for the most part, even those things things are smooth. Funny enough, I would say the Asus G15 Advantage, at least while recording, is probably one of the least smooth system. But obviously the one that failed the hardest was the FIREBAT, which couldn't even play it because it's missing the API it needs to run the game. I tried every conceivable thing first in the first video, and then I even tried something else in this video, and it still didn't work. So if you've got that kind of system, unfortunately you're just gonna have to either grab a console to play or upgrade your PC to something with at least a 780M, because the 780M at least supports that. But that is all I got for you guys for this particular video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.